Welcome back. Well, after 7 years of fanfare and the annual celebration of gay rights in Johannesburg, the Joburg Pride organization or organizers, I should say, have called it quits. Well, some of the reasons cited are a loss of a venue and a lack of support from the police service and local ward councillors. Joburg Pride board member Fulvio de Stefanis is in studio to explain all of that for us now. Very good morning to you, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
So, first things first, is the Joburg Pride board still intact as we speak?
As we speak, it is, yes. I think I need to clarify something. We as a board, Joburg Pride is 22 years old. We've done the last 7 productions of Joburg Pride. We've produced the last 7 events. We announced this week that we as a board will not be producing this year's event. However, I need to state that I really do believe our community is very dynamic, and I'm sure that there will be a group of people, a committee, a new team that will step up and produce an event this year. So I do think that there will be a Joburg Pride this year, but our company, our board, has taken the decision after assessing all the facts on the table, that when we convened our meeting last month, that we would not be producing it this year.
Why?
Well, there were a lot of factors we had to take into consideration, many factors. One of them was, as you mentioned just now, is that the loss of the venue. We have basically outgrown the Zoo Lake venue. It's important for us to state that the ward councillors that have supported us in the past, in their personal capacities and as a party, they continue to support Joburg Pride. Absolutely, categorically, they support Joburg Pride. But the event happening at Zoo Lake and everything that happens at the event and after the event, especially after the event, once we close the event at 6 o'clock and people then disperse and leave the precinct, created a situation where the residents indicated to their ward councillor that they no longer wanted the event at Zoo Lake. So that was a factor in having to go and find another venue, and everything involved in planning at a new venue and all the time and effort that is required in actually producing such an event. The board members sat down and took a look at our own personal circumstances and situations and said, we cannot afford the time, the resources to actually produce a safe and secure event this year.
Why now, though? Why step down now and make this decision just before the parade? Could you not have foreseen this and maybe announced it a long time ago?
Well, that's the whole thing. It's not just before the parade. It's 7 months before the parade is usually held, which is in October. We only convene, for the last 7 years, we always convene as a board in March. We come together after, it takes a lot of planning. After Joburg Pride in October, we then take the end of the year break, and then we reconvene as a board in March to discuss, to disseminate everything that happened at the previous year's event, and then to plan and budget and look at the budget going forward for that current year's event. And in our March board meeting, we then made the decision that we were not going to produce this year's event. So we felt it very important to get that information out as soon as possible, which was this week, the beginning of April, so that there's 7 months, which is what we took to organize the event, to announce to the community that we were not producing it, and then allow a space for a new team, a new committee to come in and produce the event.
But could you not, before you make the announcement, could you not have secretly, or not even secretly, but could you not have made efforts to find another organization to try and fix the problems, and then failing which, then come forward and say, we've done all we can? Because right now, have you been in discussions with other organizations who could possibly take this forward?
As I sit here this morning, I do know that there's already a meeting being held this weekend by various people in the community, various groups that have come together, interested parties that will look at forming a new committee to produce this year's event. And that's why our medium in which we engage with the community is through our press releases, is through our website, is through our Facebook page, And that's how we actually let the information out this week. And I think we've done it in good time. It's 7 months. That's what we took to produce the event. We've done it in good time, and there's been a response, and the response has galvanized people to actually say it must happen this year, and that is exactly what's happening. So we're confident that it will happen. We just needed to announce that as this company and this board, we would not be producing it in 2013.
And that's a decision you've made, and it's final.
Well, yes, it's a company decision. We all there's 7 directors in the company. We sat down and it was a unanimous vote. We put it. It was a resolution that was passed that the company has run its course, and we would be winding up the company. And then the new entity, whoever the new committee is, will have to. When we did it 6 years ago, we didn't take over a company, or we formed our own company, a Section 21 company, and that's what we expect must happen now as well, because within this company there's directors that have signed sureties to suppliers and things like that. So we need to wind this company up correctly in the right way, and the new committee needs to come in with their own legal entity, their own legal structure, and produce this event. Look, there's 22 events. We've done 6. Prior to that, it's been various organizations. There's been an activist organization, personal people, and so on and so forth.
Very briefly, sponsorship, was that a factor that also went into this decision?
Sponsorship, I think as we grew Joburg Pride, when we did it 6 years ago, it was an event that attracted less than a couple of thousand, 2,000 people, and we've grown the event to an event now that is 20,000 people. So we're handing over an event to the new committee, or the new group of people, a very healthy event. And I'm sure that they will be able to attract sponsorship, because I was actually the sponsorship director 6 years ago. When I used to go and knock on people's door, they weren't prepared to engage with Joburg Pride. 6 years later, we've got some amazing companies that have actually seen the benefit of actually sponsoring Joburg Pride, and we are handing it over. We're passing the torch on to the next committee or board, a very healthy, strong brand, Joburg Pride.
Well, thank you very much for your time. That was Joburg Pride board member Fulvio de Stefanis.